was important to share because it's not always easy, especially as holistic healthcare practitioners, to know, especially doing something in the energy field, knowing where and how to build your business, where you're going to find people that are not just in that space, because it's often the people that are outside of that space, out in the stressful corporate world, or moms, or just business people, entrepreneurs, people in general that need this, as well as helping you build your business. So I wanted to share a bit about how I did this, having come out of the corporate world. So let's have a look here. So I wanted to share a few quotes with you first, because these have, many people might have heard these, but I just wanted to share them because they really are true. So the first one is, your network is your net worth. So what is that? I mean, if you think about your network of people, and that's not necessarily just a networking group, it is the network of people that you associate with. And the next one leads us into why we do it. So courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. Because what has happened in the last couple of years, especially with the pandemic, is people have gotten so used to being online and on social media. But when we show up and let ourselves be seen, people see that as a very different thing than showing up online. Online is important. We'll talk about that as well. But this face-to-face networking and really is where you're going to grow your business. So, and then the last one there, networking is marketing. It's marketing yourself, your uniqueness, and what you stand for. It's very difficult for people to see that and tangibly be able to understand what you can bring, what value you can bring to them, if we are only doing this type of marketing online. Okay, so let's get into some stuff here. So what am I going to talk about? The why do we network? The how to, because that's often when people go, how do I even start? Where do I go? The where, because that's the other thing, is where do I find these places? And then I'm going to go into a little bit about where I started and where I am now. That's the first one. By connecting with other health and wellness professionals, you increase your chances of finding valuable opportunities, because you might connect with somebody who does a different modality, who doesn't quite do what we do, that we can assist with, and vice versa. Mutual support and mentorship. So this would be referring to, and it'll come up later on in the presentation, is we're not just talking about networking groups here. We are also talking about your local networks, because in essence, what is a network? It's a matrix. And for those of us who have done matrix dynamics, it's exactly what you're working with. You're working with a matrix, which is your network. So that goes to the local associations as well as international associations that we are part of. And there are other associations of various other holistic healthcare practitioners. And through that, the mutual support and mentorship can be hugely beneficial as well. And through networking, that's where you find this. And then exploration of new paths is the other one. You might find something that you can add that could add value to your clients within your practice if you are networking with other businesses, not even just necessarily holistic healthcare businesses, but other businesses in general that could potentially use your services in their businesses, which we will talk about a little bit later as well. And then influence and advocacy. If you have a look at that, if you are within a business networking group where there are businesses that are very highly stressed, or businesses that have got sort of mental health issues or anything like that, once they start seeing how you could benefit them, you start having a bit of an influence. And that's exactly how we did it as the South African Body Talk Association was going into these businesses and assisting the employees. And when you were assisting the employees, we even started gaining ground with a lot of the medical insurance companies, because they could see the benefit that it had. So you can't do that if you're not networking with people, and you don't have to necessarily be part of a networking group, but it really does help. So here I'm really talking about networking and being out there as yourself and being authentic, but we'll speak a bit more about that when we get into the rest of the hows. So remember, networking isn't just about exchanging business cards. It's about building meaningful relationships that enhance your journey. And that is what the benefits of networking are. And I said holistic healing practitioners, but it can actually be any person that's needing to build their business, or any entrepreneur or anybody that's needing to do that. We did a lot of this, attend industry events and conferences. We even started doing it here now with the MeWe Fair. So there's the MeWe Fair, there's various other ones, and all of that is classified as networking. So those are big things that you can look out for as practitioners that you can attend, that'll already start opening doors for you and helping you to grow your business. Then join professional associations and organizations. We are all part of, or most of us, the International Body Talk Association, and now with the local association, and there are various others globally as well. To become part of those is where it really starts. And then I have put in here, utilize social media platforms. Why is that important? Because the social media platforms, what you can actually do on there is you can actually search for networking groups. You can go on there and you can search for networking groups in your area, in your local area. You'll pick up women's groups, you'll pick up general wellness groups, you'll pick up, I picked up one when I arrived here called Get to the Point Networking. And I joined them and I went to a few of the events and I made quite a few connections there as well. And I used social media to find that. So that's why social media is important when you are looking how to network effectively, is go find those and then reach out and go and join those events and start growing your network, start building your confidence, because that's really what it's about. Hosting workshops and webinars. So once you start networking and you find these people, you can start, if that is what you prefer to do, is work online and network there, then host webinars. If you prefer workshops, then host workshops, even if it's just a wellness morning for women where you talk about a couple of tips and tricks that can help reduce stress or whatever it might be. And even if you start off with a couple of people, you can really start building that, and word of mouth really happens when you are networking in person. And then again, we've got collaborate with complementary practitioners here. And I'll just give you an idea, because we will speak about BNI in a short while. A couple of weeks ago, what BNI did is they had a regional health and wellness, they called it a power team meetup. And there we had, I collected all we had acupuncturists, we had essential oil wellness advocates, we had life coaching, we had decrease your toxins. So there were so many of them that were there that since then have already reached out based on what they saw I could potentially help their clients with. So that was collaborating with those practitioners, and already there you see that you're starting to already gain more word of mouth clients from that as well. And the one thing is, when I say they offer value first, often what happens is when people go out on social media or even networking in person, their first thing is they're wanting to sell. People don't really want to know what you want to sell. They want to know how you can help them. And that is, for me, where the focus needs to be, is when you are networking, focus on how you can help somebody, because as soon as you grab that, then whatever those pain points are, as soon as you link into that, they can see the value that you have to offer, and they will then start talking about that value as well. And then once you've been to these events and conferences and all the social media, if you've connected there, webinars, workshops, follow up and stay connected. So if that means, like, we have our newsletter, and we have people that we meet along the way at the MeWe Fair or any of these things, we just grab the email address and stay connected with the people. And if we're at a wellness day, we'd always make sure that we followed up and checked in on the people, because that way you will have those people coming back into your practice, if they feel like you value them and you follow up with them. And then be authentic and approachable. If you're at a networking event or any conference or anything, industry event of any kind, and you come across a certain way and somebody books a session with you and they come to your practice and that's not the same person that they saw at the networking event, that's also, we need to be authentic and approachable and consistent throughout. If that's how we are there, that's how we need to be in our practice as well. And I guess that is authenticity. And there again, I've said it again, so clearly there's something to it because it's down there again. Be yourself. Authenticity goes a long way in networking, because if people see you at this event and then at another event and come visit you in your practice, they'll see that you never really change. That's just who you are. And that is, especially in our field, it is hugely important for us to stay authentic and approachable. And then this, listen more than you speak. Listen actively, ask questions, show genuine interest in others' work, even if it's not within the holistic healthcare field. If it's just other businesses, just show genuine interest in that, because when people see that, it's again showing you authenticity and that you're approachable in no matter what it could be. Okay. So networking groups. So sort of where it needs to start, because like I said, this is what you build when you're networking is a matrix. Right now, the 5 of us online, we've created a little matrix. The people who listen later are all part of that matrix. So when you are part of, whether it be the IBA, whether it be the P&W Body Talk Association, whether it be any other body talk association anywhere in the world, that is already the start of where you start learning to network. We had our tap day on Saturday. There were 8 of us here. That was a little network of people that were talking about and assisting others. Yes, it was our local body talk practitioners, but it's part of a larger matrix. And that gives you the platform to launch into these other networking groups. So community groups, I mentioned, you can go onto Facebook, you can go and search for community groups or networking groups in your area, and you can start off small. You can go to a coffee meetup, you can go to one of those, especially if you're a bit more introverted. It might just help you to go to smaller ones first, just to try and get a feel of what it could be like. Then I just put, these are 2 that I sort of found online. So Alignable is, they do host webinars and they do host things like that online that you can join. They've got various people on that platform. They've got various entrepreneurs. It's not just holistic healthcare practitioners, but that is often the space you want to be in, because those are the people, like I said, have got the high stress, have got a lot of that going on. And you often hear, if we listen, you'll hear people talking about somebody who's got an ache, pain, tension, discomfort, something going on. And if you're paying attention to that, you will pick up that as well. So that is why it's important to be part of networks that are not just holistic healthcare or complementary healthcare, is to really branch out and reach out to those other businesses, whether it be corporate, whether it be entrepreneurs, because that's really, really where the assistance is needed. Then local chambers. Here, it's something that wasn't really very much of a thing in South Africa, but I've been invited to join the local chamber of commerce here. And there's, every city, I think, has one. So that's another place that you can actually have a look and see if that would work for you. But then I'm going to focus on BNI. So BNI stands for Business Networking International. So I put this here on purpose. I changed the branding here for a moment, because this is the branding that I use for my business when I'm doing presentations within BNI. So I just wanted to change it and just show you that that's another thing that has really been phenomenal growth for me in my business. Is there's a lot of self-development tools. There's a lot of support and learning where you learn how to brand your business. You learn various things that you maybe wouldn't think you'd get from a networking group. How I did and still do. So one of my main motivations for finding something was, before Body Talk, I was in the corporate world, and anyone who's been in the corporate world or in a big business will know that there's always somebody to bounce things off of. There's always somebody to talk to. You're always networking. You're always you know, networking with other companies, going to conferences, going to events, understanding the industry. So when I came out of the corporate world, I needed to understand how I was going to feel safe, so to speak, to grow my business and become the business person that I was in a corporate world, but doing it on my own. So my first thing was the local and international matrices, which is essentially a network. So when I was in South Africa, I very quickly joined the South African Body Talk Association and became very involved, was a board member. We got very involved with corporate wellness days. I've put a couple of pictures here for you to see. The three pictures on the side, on the right, were all at wellness days, where we went with our little local network of practitioners to the wellness days, and they and myself and the other practitioners built our practices through doing these days. And it was actually at one of these wellness days that I was introduced to BNI by one of the other. They would have a whole group of people there from different wellness. So they had Body Talk, they had Herbalife, they had various other people doing various wellness things, pedicures. And so you've got to network with a lot of other people, and I was introduced to BNI. The bottom picture that you see just underneath there is my first presentation that I did at BNI in South Africa. Why did I choose BNI as my platform? So BNI has, the first thing is they have exclusive professions. So there's 9,500 chapters globally. So the chapters are basically the groups that you become a part of. So when you become a part of whatever chapter you choose, I'm a member of East Side Excellence in Redmond, and you basically lock out your competition. So you have the exclusive seat. So you can have other wellness professionals in there, a chiropractor, we've got a naturopath, we've got a nutritionist, but they become your power team. So they will refer people to you, and you will refer people to them for whatever it is that they need that's in that space as well. And then secondly, this was important for me. It might not be important for everyone. And that's why I mentioned the local networking groups where there's not much structure. You can go and have a cup of coffee. You can go and do that. But for me, coming from where I came from, I needed the structured meeting. So why is the structured meeting important? So we meet once a week. And basically, I have 20 people that are in the chapter that become my sales team. So every week I go in to the meeting with an ask. So what am I looking for that week? Who am I looking to assist? What is it all about? And what that has helped me do is to build my elevator pitch. We've spoken about that in a couple of the other booster Zooms, how to talk about Body Talk, because now you're sitting with professionals that are not necessarily in the wellness space and that don't know anything about Body Talk, don't know anything about any of the other modalities that you might do, but specifically focused here on Body Talk. It teaches you how to speak about it, how to speak about it professionally, how to get people to understand what it is and how it can help them. That is why it is so important to have that structured meeting, because you get given that opportunity once a week to basically tell your sales team what would like to help the people that they need in their day. So there the network spreads out even further. And then referral opportunities. So referral opportunities, we refer people to each other. So I'll give you a good example. We needed on Sunday evening, my daughter reversed into the garage door. So we needed to find somebody to fix the garage door. This had nothing to do with Body Talk, but I knew that he is vetted and he's verified, and he could come and fix the garage door. And because he's a member of BNI, they come and they're very ethical and they get it done quickly. So you are actually held accountable. And that for me is huge when you're in this business networking, in a business networking group like that. And when they see that you're accountable, they start referring more people to you because they know that you can be trusted. Okay, and then support and training. this is really where I mentioned earlier when I showed you my branding. That is sort of, they guide you. So people who are a bit more introverted or not sure how to do the business thing, not sure which angle they need to be going, not sure how to talk about it, there is a university that you can go watch podcasts on how to do things. And besides that, the support that you get from the people in your chapter and globally, because you have the global reach, you have the 9,500 chapters and 280,000 members worldwide that you could search for at any point in time. Okay, then number 5, the one-to-one meetings. So what one-to-ones are basically where you schedule a meeting with another member of the chapter, or they schedule it with you, where you get to talk about your business and they get to talk about theirs. And I must say that I don't think I've had a one-to-one meeting where I have not gotten a new client from those meetings, because they start going, oh yes, I know somebody who you might be able to help with this, and it just starts rolling from there. But you also start building the connections with those people, and then they trust referring you because you spend time understanding them and their business as well. And then I mentioned global reach, and that really is, I have, through BNI, they have a regional speed networking and a national speed networking. They have it once a week. And through that, I have gained clients in Colorado, in West Virginia, in Chicago, in California. And I've never met these clients in person because, as we know, Body Talk we can do from anywhere and to anyone anywhere. So even that has assisted me in expanding my global reach. And because we are online, and they do things online that you can build your network there as well. I wanted to show you, there are some numbers here, but bearing in mind when I skip to the next one, what this is. So there's a platform called BNI Connect, where you log all your one-to-ones. So it's very structured. Log your one-to-ones, log your thank you for closed business, you log your referrals. And I was a member of BNI in South Africa. I joined BNI here in September 2022. September 2022. And so the snapshot you're going to see is just the thank you for closed business I have received since I've been a member here. This is not my South African business. This is just since I've been a member here. And I don't mind sharing it because it is BNI's platform. So I am going to show you what my numbers look like on there, but you can also see what I've given to other people, which is what helps them refer to you as well. So if you have a look here, thank you for closed business received in the last 12 months. It's almost $16,000 in the last 12 months. And that is not even all the business I've put in or that I've received, because I've had, they call it 5th tier referrals, which goes, so 5 people have referred you since the first person that referred you. And those numbers are not even in here. So when they say lifetime here, that is since I joined in September 2022. So if you just look at those, and then you can see my thank you for closed business given to other members. You can see so these CEUs here are the education units. So that's the studying that I've done for business stuff, for personal growth, that I've done within BNI that's really helped me with my business. And then these are the one-to-ones. And then, yeah, so you can just see that it's very structured, and you can actually track, the referrals you're getting and the thank you for closed business that you are receiving from BNI. So joining fee that you pay, I've made that back more than 10 times over. So I just wanted to show you that as a snapshot, because it's just important for you to see that it really does work. And that's networking in general. There are other groups, there are other things. I'm not saying this is the only way, but it's just what has really worked for me. And I know that Dr. Tracy Clark is also a huge advocate of BNI. And I know other Body Talk practitioners also in South Africa, as well as not really here. There's other holistic practitioners, but not really Body Talk practitioners that are members. But it really is a fantastic platform to grow your business. So that is the end of my presentation. So if there are any questions or any comments, then please do share.
I think I want to say, as we're kind of bringing it to a close, that one thing I talk about a lot with people is that once you find that client that starts telling other people, that's when your practice takes off.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm hearing you say is this is deliberately walking into a room and deliberately meeting people that are going to tell other people about you instead of just like trying to hope that you hit it with the right hairdresser or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're on purpose connecting with people, and you all know the whole point is you're going to share with each other about what you do, because sure enough, someone's going to say, do you know a good plumber? And someone else is going to say, do you know someone that can help with my sciatica?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And people listen out for you when they go. So we've got a lady who does she does house cleaning, and she wanted to know, she's Brazilian, doesn't speak English very well. She wanted to know what it is that I do. So I said, okay, well, come here for a one-to-one. Come here, let me show you. I spent about 30 minutes doing a bit of access on her. She had a pain sort of in the spleen pancreas area. After that, she stood up and she was looking for the pain. And I didn't do a full session, I just did access. She that day gave a testimonial. It was just before the meeting. She gave a testimonial at the meeting about the pain that was no longer there. And then and she'd only just met me, and she now is telling all the people, because she goes into people's homes and sees people that are maybe in pain, or they say something to her, and she is now saying she's referring everybody to me. And that was just 30 minutes of me showing her a little bit of body talk access and how it can help you. And that will lead into her probably attending a body talk access somewhere along the line.
And it's just organic and it's authentic and it's natural.
Yeah. And I've got
not hustling, like, look at my thing. It's like,
yeah, but that's the thing.
like,
You're
I
going
help
in
you,
there,
you help me, and
because you can offer value. That's what it is. You can go offer them value and they'll give you value back.
well, I want to thank you on my own behalf and behalf of everybody and that's going to be watching this video. I'm sure that this is going to be the solution for a lot of people who are like, you can't put up a flyer anymore and social media is totally saturated and weird, and how are you supposed to connect? And this seems promising.
If you decide to do it and you're not sure, please reach out. Send me an email. What is
contact at pnwbodytalk.com. Yeah, we'll get you in touch with Vanessa.
Yeah. So if you want information, or you want me to help you find a chapter that's going to work for you, please let me know, because I have access to all of that in the background.
Very much appreciate it. And thank you for everybody that was here. And we will close with big love.